Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success effortlessly, what others struggle endlessly? The difference isn't and it certainly isn't some secret formula hidden away in an ancient tomb. The difference lies in something far more powerful, yet completely within your control. Every morning, millions wake up. How to chase success? They work hard. They push themselves. They do everything society tells them. Yet somehow, that breakthrough moment keeps eluding them because they're trying to reach their destination using a broken compass. Your mind is that compass, and today, we're going to fix it. Success isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. And who you become starts with how you think. Let me share something profound with you. Your current reality is nothing but a print out of your mental programming. Everything you see around you, your relationships, your bank account, your health, your achievement, there are manifestations of what's happening between your ears. They're downloaded from their parents. Their limit installed by their teachers. Their beliefs about money programmed by SOCE. And here's the tragic part. They're using these borrowed programs, directions to try and build their own success. But today, right here, right now, we're going to change that. We're going to dive deep into the control room of your mind and start making some serious adjustment. Because once you understand how to reprogram your mind, you realize that success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. Start with the first fundamental truths. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you worry about something, your body responds with stress hormones as if the threat were real. When you visualize success vividly, your brain starts creating neural pathways as if you've already achieved. This isn't some new age philosophy. This is hard science. Think about it. Why do some people stay calm during the crisis while others panic? Why do some see opportunities and problems while others only see obst? Same external situation, completely different internal response. That's the power of mental programming. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your thoughts and experiences. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. I call it your ticket to transformation. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every story you tell yourself is either reinforcing your current programming or creating new pathways for success. Let me ask you, when was the last time you questioned your own thinking? When did you last stop and ask yourself, why do I believe what I believe? Who taught me to think this way about money, about success, about my own capabilities? Most people never ask these questions. They're too busy running on the hamster wheel of life, wondering why they're not getting anywhere. But you're different. You're here because something inside you knows there's more. You're here because you're ready to take control of your mental software. Consider this, if you plant a seed in fertile soil provided with water and sunlight, it has no choice but to grow. It's a law of nature. Similarly, if you plant the right thoughts in your mind and nurture them with consistent action, success has no choice but to manifest. It's not philosophy, it's psychology. But let's get real for a moment. This journey isn't going to be easy. Reprogramming your mind is like renovating a house while you're still living in It's mess. It's uncomfortable. There will be days when your old programming fights back with everything it's got. That's normal. That's expected. That's part of the process. You see, your current mental programming didn't happen overnight. Is the result of years of accumulated thought, belief, experiences. Some of these programs were installed when you were too young to even question them. Like that time someone told you money doesn't grow on trees, or you're not good enough for be realistic. These phrases might seem harmless, but they're like viruses in your mental operating system, quietly sabotaging your efforts to. But here's the good news. Just as your mind can be programmed for limitation, it can be reprogrammed for success. And once you understand the process, you'll realize it's simpler than you think. Not easier, simpler. There's a difference. The success isn't about adding more information to your mind. We're drowning in information already. It's about removing the mental blocks that are holding you back. It's about replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. It's about upgrading your mental software to match the level of success you desire. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history started as a thought. Can someone, the phone in your pocket, the chair you're sitting on, the building you're in, they all started as mental images before becoming physical reality. Your success story is it starts with reprogramming your mind to align with the success you deserve. But here's where most people get it wrong. They try to change their results without changing their think. That's like trying to download new software. While running all programs, it doesn't work. You have to clear the cache. You have to be willing to question everything you think you know about. Look around this room. Everyone here has the same basic hardware, a brain capable of extraordinary things. The only difference? What is the software we're running? Some are running programs, scarcity and limit. Others are running programs of abundance, cool, and possibility. The choice of which program to run, that's entirely the first step in reprogramming your mind for success is becoming aware of your current programming. Your thoughts aren't random. They're pat. And these patterns create your reality. Let me share something powerful with you. For the next few minutes, I want you to pay attention to the voice in your head. You know the one I'm talking about. The voice that's probably saying right now, what voice is he talking about? The voice is your mental narn, and it never shuts up. It's calming on everything, judging everything, comparing everything. But here's the critical, that voice really yours? Or is it a collection of borrowed opinions and heritage fears and second-hand beliefs? Most people live their entire lives never questioning that voice. The acceptance judgments is truth. Its fears is reality. Its limitations as fact. But that voice is, and it's your programming. And once you understand this, everything changes. Let me give you a practical example. When you look in the mirror, what does that voice say? When you're about to take a risk, what does it tell you? When an opportunity presents itself, what's its immediate response? These aren't random thought. They're program responses. They're like lines of code running in your mental computer. The second step is understanding the power of your attention. Whatever you consistently focus on grows stronger in your mind. It's like watering a plant. What you water grows. What you don't withers away. This isn't positive think. Is mental training. You see, your brain has something called the reticular activating system rest. Think of it as your mind search engine. When you program it to look for opportunities, it finds opportunities. When you program it to look for obstacles, it finds Obi. Have you ever noticed how, when you're thinking about buying a certain car, you suddenly see that car everywhere? That's your raise at work. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your race doesn't just filter what you see. It filters what you expect. When you program your mind for success, you start noticing opportunities that were always there, but invisible 2-year-old programming. The third step is what I call mental rehearsal. Every great achievement happens twice. First in your mind, then. In reality, this isn't daydreaming. This is deliberate mental prepare. Athletes use this technique all the time. Before they step onto the field, they've already played the game countless times in there, but most people do the oppose. Instead of rehearsing, they spend hours imagining everything that could go wrong. They play worst-case scenarios on repeat in there, and then they wonder why they're not achieving their goals. Let me ask you what movie are you playing in your mind? Is it a success story or a tragedy? Is it an adventure or a horror film? Because whatever movie you keep playing, your brain will work to make it your realtor. The fourth step is creating new neural pathways. Through consistent, your brain is like a 4. The more you walk the clearer and easier it be. Every time you take action aligned with your new programming, every time you choose courage over fear, abundance over scare, possibility over limit, you're strengthening that pair. But these new pathways must be created with intention and emotion. It's not enough to just think different thought. You must feel them. Your brain doesn't respond to words as much as it responds to them. When you combine clear intention with strong emotion, you create lasting. This is why affirmations alone often don't work. Saying I am successful while feeling like a failure. Create internal conflict, not transform. The key is to gradually build authentic confidence. Through consistent action, through proving to yourself that your new programming is valid. The fifth step is what I call environmental programming. Your mind is constantly being programmed by your environment. The people you spend time with, the information you consume, the conversations you engage. Wanganwi current programming. Look at your environment. This is why some people can make a decision to change, but their environment pulls them back to their old programming. They try to run new software. Staying connected to network. That only support the old operating system. Think about it. How many people in your life truly support your vision? How many challenge you to grow? How many are running the kind of mental software you want to install in your own mind? These aren't comfortable questions, but they're crucial ones. Your mind is like a garden. They don't just grow they also grow weed. These weeds are the negative thought, the limiting belief, the toxic relationships sprout up automatically if you're not vigilant. This is why mental reprogramming, isn't it? One-time event, it's a daily practice. Just like you wouldn't expect your body to stay in shape after one workout. You can't expect your mind to stay programmed for success without consistent. But here's what makes this journey so extraordinary. As you reprogram your mind, you don't just change your thought. You change your entire experience of life. Things that used to trigger stress become opportunities for growth. Obstacles that used to stop you become stepping stones to success. People who used to intimidate you become potential mentors. And all, remember this, every thought you think is either an investment in success or a payment toward failure. Every belief you hold is either a bridge to your dreams or a barrier to your potential. Every story you tell yourself is either empowering you or imprisoning you. Now let's talk about something that most success teachers never mention: the emotional price of transformation. When you begin to reprogram your mind, you're not just changing thought. You're changing your entire identity. And that process can feel like you're losing yourself. You see your current identity the way you see yourself. The stories you tell about who you are has been keeping you safe. It's familiar. It's comfortable. Even if it's holding you back, at least it's predictable. When you start to change that identity, everything feels uncertain. Your brain interprets this uncertainty, and that's when the resistance kicks in. This resistance shows up in many forms. Sometimes it's procrastination. Sometimes it's self-sabotage. Sometimes it's that voice in your head getting louder, trying to convince you to go back to your old way. This isn't weak. This is your brain trying to protect you from what it perceives as a threat to your survival. But here's what you need to understand. This discomfort is not your enemy. It's your owl. It's your hour. It's a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing beyond your current programming. Just like a butterfly must struggle, you must struggle to break free from your old mental pattern. Let me share something profound with you. The reason most people never achieve their full potential isn't that they don't know what to do. It's that they don't know how to handle the emotional journey of transformation. They start with enthusiasm, but when the emotional price becomes due, they retreat to their comfort. Your comfort zone isn't really about comfort. It's about your brain craves certainty like your body craves. That's why it's so easy to stay stuck in patterns that don't serve you. At least they're predictable. At least you know what to expect. But here's the Triton to Ukraine is an illusion. In this rapidly changing world, the only real certainty is the only real security is your ability to adapt, to learn, to grow. And that ability starts with your mental programming. Think about this. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you push through resist, you're strengthening your success muscles. Every time you face your fears, you're expanding your comfort zone. This is where most people they wait to feel confident before taking. They wait to feel ready before they wait to feel certain before taking a risk. But that's not how transformation works. You don't become confident and then take action and then become confident. Your brain learns through expe, not through information. You can read every success book ever written, attend every seminar, watch every motivational video. But until you start taking action, consistent, committed action, your programming won't change. Let me ask you what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What goals would you set? What dreams would you pursue? What actions would you take? Now, here's the real question. What's stopping? Is it really external circumstances or is it your mental programming? You see, most people live in a prison of their own making. The walls are built from limiting belief. The bars are made of fear, and the locks are their own XQ. But here's the fascinating, the door's always been unlocked. You can walk out anytime. You choose to challenge your current program. But walking out requires courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. It requires you to question everything you've been taught about capability, about what's possible for you. Think about the most successful people you know. What makes them different? Is it their talents, their circumstances? Is there a programming? They programmed. Are there psyops? Define solutions where others find, to take action where others take. This is why two people can face the same situation and get completely different results. One Caesar crisis, the other season opportunity. One retreats in fear, the other advances with purpose. Same external reality, different internal programming. Your programming determines not just what you do, but how you do it. It affects your energy, your enthusiasm, your resilience. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have boundless energy for pursuing their goals while others get exhausted? I'm just thinking about change that's not about physical energy. It's about mental programming. When your actions align with your programming, they energize you. When they don't, they drain. This is why some people can work 18 hours a day on their dream and feel energy, while others can't work 2 hours without feeling exhausted. But here's something crucial you need to understand. Your current programming isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. You didn't choose the initial programming you received from your family, your education, your society, but you can choose to change it. This is where personal power comes from. Not from blaming others for your current programming, but from taking responsibility for your future programming. Not from denying your past, but from deciding your future. Your reprogramming process requires patience. Your current programming took years to install. It won't be replaced overnight. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to wait until the reprogramming is complete to start seeing results. Every smile shift in your thinking. Create a shift in your. Think of it like turning a large ship. Furting shift in direction might not seem like much at first, but over time, it leads to a completely different destiny. Your thoughts are like that ship's rudder. Small changes in your mental programming today create massive changes in your life. Action over time. Let's talk about something that most people never consider. The power of your morning programming. The first hour of your day is like the first line of code in a computer program. It sets the pattern for everything that follows. Yet most people start their day by programming their minds with worry, stress, and other people's agenda. They wake up and immediately check their phones, flooding their minds with messages, news, and social media. Before they've even gotten out of bed, they've downloaded other people's problems, other people's priorities, other people's program. And then they wonder why they feel overwhelmed, distracted, and off track. Your morning routine isn't just about productivity. It's about program. Every thought you entertained in those first waking moments, like a seed planted in fertile soil. What seeds are you pulling? Are there seeds of possibility or limitation? Seeds of gratitude or complaints? Seeds appropriate. This is why successful people guard their morning routine like a fort. They understand how you start your day determines how you live your day, and how you live your day determines how you live your life. But let's go deeper. Your morning programming isn't just about what you do, it's about who you're becoming. When you start your day with intention, with purpose, with clarity, you're not just programming your day for your programming, your identity for transformation. Think about this. Every morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and reinforce your old programming, or you can wake up and install new programming. You can let your past determine your future, or you can let your vision determine your future. The choice is yours, but you must make it consciously. This brings us to something crucial. The power of your questions. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. Most people ask themselves disempowering questions. Why does this always happen to me? Why can't I get ahead? Why is life so hard? And their minds, like faithful servants, find answers to support these questions. But what if you changed your questions? What if instead of asking, why me, you asked, what's the opportunity here? Instead of, why can, you asked, how can I? Instead of what could go wrong, you asked, what could go right? Different questions. Create different programs. In different programs, create different results. Your mind is like a search engine. It will find answers to whatever questions you ask. Ask better. Get better. Program better questions into your daily routine. Create better results in your... But here's where most people get stuck. They try to change their programming while staying in the same environment. That's like trying to download new software while connected to an old network. Your environment either supports your new programming or sabotages. Look around your life right now. What messages are you surrounding yourself with? What conversations are you regularly having? What images, sounds, and energy are you exposing your mind to? Everything in your environment is either programming you for success or programming you for failure. This is why changing your physical environment can accelerate your mental reprogramming. When you change what you see, hear, and experience daily, you change the inputs your brain uses to create your... Consider this. Your brain processes millions of bits of information every second, but you're only consciously aware of a tiny fraction. The rest gets processed, consciously creating patterns, beliefs, and behaviors without your awareness. This is why environment matters so. It's programming, whether you realize it or not. But here's the key. You don't have to change everything at once. Start with your morning environment. Create a space that supports your new program. Fill it with reminders of your goals, your vision, your potential. Make it a sanctuary for your now. Let's talk about something that few people understand. The role of physical movement in mental reprogramming. Your mind and body are not separate systems. They're one integrated system. When you change your physiology, you change your psychology. Have you ever noticed how your thinking changes when you exercise? How problems that seemed overwhelming become manageable after a walk? How solutions appear when you get your body moving? That's not CO. That's science. Physical movement literally changes your brain chemistry, making it more receptive to new programming. This is why sustained transformation requires both mental and physical engagement. You can't just think your way to new programming. You must embody it. Your pastor, your breathing, your movement. Pat. They're all either reinforcing your old programming or supporting your new programming. You think about how successful people carry themselves, notice their posture, their gestures, their energy. They're not just thinking successfully, they're embodying success. Their physical presence is aligned with their mental program. But here's something crucial. Does a lion that doesn't happen it happens through conscious, consistent practice. It happens when you decide to make every moment an opportunity for reprogramming, not just your thoughts, but your entire being. The springs is to another powerful true. Your words program your mind. The language you, both in your internal dialogue and your external communication, create patterns in your brain. When you change your language, you change your program. Does people use language that reinforces their limitations? I'll try. Maybe I should. These words create weak programming. They leave escape routes for failure. They programmed uncertainty instead of confidence, hesitation instead of action. Compare that to empowered language. I will, I come. These words create strong programming. They closed the back doors to failure. They program certainty, commitment, and action into your neural pathway. Now we come to perhaps the most crucial aspect of mental reprogramming, the power of deck. Not the kind of casual decisions we make every day, but the soul-level decisions that change the course of our lives. The kind of decisions that burn all bridges. Back to old programming and force system move forward. You see, most people never make real decisions. They make wishes, hopes, preferences. But a true decision cuts off all other possibilities. The word decision comes from Lat, meaning to cut off. When you truly decide to reprogram your mind you cut off all possibilities of returning to old pattern. Think about this. Every major breakthrough in human history came after someone made a decision. They decided that the old way wasn't good enough. They decided that change wasn't just, it was necessary. They decided that the price of staying the same, what's greater than the price of, it's not about having all the answers. It's not about knowing exactly how you'll get there. It's about committing to the outcome while being flexible about the process. You're all programming one certainty before commit. Your new programming creates certainty through commit. When you make a real decision, something extraordinary happens in your brain. Neural pathways begin reorganizing themselves to support your deck. Resources you didn't know you had become available. Opportunities you couldn't see before suddenly become visible. This isn't magic. Let me warn you about the moment you make a real decision to change your programming, life, or test your commitment. It's as if the universe wants to know. Are you serious about this? Or is this just another empty promise to yourself? These tests will come in many forms. Sometimes they'll come as setbacks that tempt you to return to old patterns. Sometimes they'll come as opportunities that tempt you to compromise your standards. Sometimes they'll come as people who try to pull you back to your old programming. This is where most people fail. Not because they lack capability, but because they lack commitment. They let temporary setbacks become permanent excuses. They let momentary failures become lifetime limit. They let other people's doubts become their own. But you're different. You're here because something inside you knows it's time for a change. Something inside you is tired of living below your potential. Something inside you is ready to break free from old programming and step into new possibilities. Remember this: your old programming will fight to survive. It will use every trick, fear, doubt, guilt, to keep you in your comfort zone. It will remind you of past failures. It will show you all the reasons why change is dangerous. It will try to convince you that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable, but that voice isn't you. It's your old programming fighting. And the louder it gets, the more you know you're on the right track. Because your all programming doesn't fight back when you're staying small. It only fights when you're growing beyond it. This journey of reprogramming your mind isn't just about achieving success. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. It's about removing the limitations that were programmed into you and reconnecting with your true potential. You see, success isn't something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And who you become, determined by how you program your mind. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is either moving you towards your potential or keeping you trapped in old pat. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary success in what sets them apart isn't just it's their programming. They've programmed their minds to see possibilities where others see problems. They've programmed their minds to take action where others take shell. But here's the most beautiful truth about mental reprogram. It's not just about you. As you upgrade your mental software, you automatically upgrade the possibilities for everyone around you. Your transformation becomes an invitation for others. To transport your growth becomes permission for others to grow. When you break free from limiting programming, you show others what's possible. When you refuse to be defined by your past, you give others permission to rewrite their future. When you step into your potential, you light the way for others to find their path. This is why the decision you make today isn't just it's about your legacy. It's about the ripple effect your transformation will have on your family, your community, your world. It's about breaking the chain of limiting programming that has been passed down through generations. The time for half measures is over. The time for trying this passed. The time for real transformation is now. Your mind is waiting to be reprogrammed. Your potential is waiting to be your future is waiting to be created. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can continue running your old programming and get the same results you've always gotten. Or you can truly decide to upgrade your mental software and step into new possible. The tools are in your hands. The knowledge is in your mind. The power's in your decision. All that's left is for you to choose. Will you continue living with programming that limits you? Or will you step into the transformation that awaits you? Remember, every moment is a chance to reprogram your mind. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your new programming. Every setback is a setup for a breakthrough. But only if you decide, really, to make your future is not determined by your past programming. Your potential is not limited by your current circumstances. Your success is not controlled by external conditions. All of these are determined by one thing and one thing only: the programs running in your mind. The decision is the time is now. The transformation,